faithfully sharing value, exploring the world's best books. Hey there, this is Sally Talks Books. Hello to all our Sally Talks Books buddies. I'm Gu Wen Hao, the editor-in-chief. First off, I've got some great news. From November 24th to December 5th, Himalaya's 123 Knowledge Carnival is officially kicking off. During the event period, just open the Himalaya app and you'll find tons of discounts, benefits, and subsidies waiting for you. And at Sally Talks Books, we're also launching 2 blockbuster shows for you. I'll introduce them to you in a bit. Uh, of course, we've already put together guides on claiming the benefits and subsidies in our community. So all our Sally Talks Books friends, quickly add our assistant's WeChat ID below to join our exclusive community. We'll promptly share all the latest benefits and activities for this Himalaya 123 Knowledge Carnival in the group. As the year ends, if you want to buy yourself lots of high quality, premium, and diverse program content, then hurry and join our community to grab and learn all about our benefit strategies. All right, now back to today's editor's pick. We know health is definitely one of the top concerns for people these days. Many folks spend heaps of time and money every year on maintaining their physical and mental health. But even now, humans still can't shake off diseases like diabetes, heart disease, and all sorts of chronic illnesses that pop up around us. Since genetic diseases are illnesses, why haven't the genes behind them been wiped out by natural selection over time? Next Monday, we'll dive into a popular science book about diseases that might just change how you see illnesses. The book is titled Survival of the Sickest, and its author is Sharon. Moalem is a renowned American expert in genetics and rare diseases with 19 biotechnology patents. Besides that, he's also a very well-known popular science writer. He has written multiple popular science works like Sex Without Desire, Reset DNA, and others. So the book, Survival of the Sickest, that we'll cover next Monday, explores human evolution history, offering a fresh perspective on the human body and our understanding of diseases like diabetes and anemia. In history, it wasn't a life-snatching demon, but actually a savior that preserved the entire human race. And take diabetes, for instance. Over 10,000 years ago, humans went through an extremely cold ice age. Back then, the human body needed higher blood sugar levels to maintain body temperature. At that time, people with diabetes who had high blood sugar had a better chance of survival. Thus, this gene had a higher probability of being passed down. So, the diabetes that troubles so many of us today actually once rescued humanity from dire straits. Isn't this answer pretty surprising to hear? So, I believe next week's Survival of the Sickest will give you a new perspective on diseases and medicine. Now, speaking of finance, there's a term called Morgan Consortium, and most of us know it like the back of our hand. Morgan Consortium, known as the Napoleon of Wall Street, he saved the U.S. financial crisis twice. And what about the 1907 U.S. banking crisis? President Roosevelt personally invited the Morgan Consortium to help resolve it. People's impression of Morgan is that he was as rich as a nation. But why did the Morgan Consortium wield such enormous influence? Yet we're not entirely clear. So next week, we'll interpret a book that tells the story of the Morgan Consortium, titled The Morgan Consortium. The author is Ron Chernow, chairman of the American Writers Association, and a winner of the National Book Award, Pulitzer Prize, and American History Book Award, because he excels at writing biographies in finance, business, and politics. Forbes magazine has named him America's best biographer, and his book, The Morgan Consortium, is hailed as a financial aircraft carrier, regarded as the definitive book on U.S. financial history, and has won the National Book Award. Forbes magazine also recommends this book as one of the 20 most influential business works. So, this book reveals the legendary and mysterious Morgan Consortium. It chronicles the rise, fall, and revival of the entire Morgan financial empire. Spanning from 1883 to 1990, it covers over 150 years of the Morgan Consortium's history and its complex ties to European and American economic development. And by reading this history of the Morgan Consortium, we can appreciate it as a condensed chronicle of Wall Street's evolution. Through portraying the thoughts and actions of three generations of Morgan leaders and their partners, the book recreates modern finance's most legendary chapter with unique perspective and clear narrative. Oh, the Chinese edition is a massive work, over 1,000 pages when translated, so we'll present it in two parts. The next Thursday, we'll interpret a book called Don't Be a Normal Fool. Nowadays, with all those double 11, double 12 sales events, people get overwhelmed. Um, Many spend nights glued to phones, uh, comparing prices across shopping apps, even setting alarms just to grab hourly coupons or adding unnecessary items to meet free shipping minimums. After all that effort, do you realize what you bought wasn't much cheaper, yet you ended up with stuff you didn't need? And you might say, everyone around me does this. They're normal people and this is normal behavior. But according to this book's author, these people are normal fools. Why normal fools? This concept was proposed by renowned behavioral decision scientist Shi Kaiyuan, author of next week's book. He states that most people around us make normal decisions, but not rational ones. He exposes those seemingly normal yet irrational decision traps in daily life, offering effective methods to avoid them. Smarter folks even leverage these traps, helping you become a rational decision maker instead of a normal fool. So, the author Shi Kaiyuan is a renowned Chinese psychologist and one of the world's leading behavioral decision scientists. In 2002, Nobel Economics laureate Daniel Kahneman dedicated 3 minutes in his acceptance speech to thank Shi Kaiyuan. Why? Because Xi's experiments proved human rationality is bounded, a conclusion that greatly assisted Kahneman's research on decision-making in economic contexts. This book we'll cover next Thursday reveals those seemingly normal yet irrational decision-making pitfalls in daily life. It provides methods showing us how not to be a normal fool. Next Friday, as usual, we'll recommend a parenting book titled Cultivating Children, starting from drawing with the subtitle Entering the World of Children's Scribbles. This book has been a bestseller in Japan for nearly 30 years, widely recommended by parents and educators. The author, Akimi Tori, is a renowned Japanese child education expert, painter, and pioneer in researching early childhood drawing behavior. He's not only an accomplished early education theorist, but also an active practitioner of quality education in Japan. Whether it's friends around me or Himalaya users, I'm sure many have noticed this phenomenon. And that many children love drawing, which cultivates observation and imagination. Learning to draw helps develop intellectual potential through joyful activities. Yet, in ordinary families, parents often interfere too much with children's creative activities. For example, when children draw, their creations often differ from what we consider normal or conventional images. At this point, some parents correct their kids, saying things like, grass must be green, balls must be round, cars must have 4 wheels. But this actually stifles the development of their potential. So how should we cultivate children's drawing? This book starts from child development principles, teaching parents to understand children's scribbles and guiding kids to express their inner world through drawing. Next Saturday, we'll cover another disease-related book titled The Great Influenza, with the subtitle The Epic Story of the Deadliest Plague. Many of us have had the flu, but few associate it with being deadly. Actually, the flu isn't just a common cold. It's caused by a virus and can lead to serious complications like pneumonia, encephalitis, and even death. And moreover, there's no direct cure for the flu itself. The antiviral drugs doctors prescribe can only reduce severe complications. Ultimately, our immune system must defeat the virus. Throughout history, there have been global flu pandemics causing massive deaths. This book covers history's deadliest pandemic, the 1918-19 Spanish flu. Authoritative estimates show it caused 50 to 100 million deaths worldwide, 2.8% to 5.6% of humanity at the time. The book meticulously details the outbreak and global spread. Author John Barry, a renowned NY Times contributor and bestseller, saw this book named 2005's Best Science or Medical Book by the National Academy of Sciences. Critics praise it as not just a masterful pandemic account, but also a tale of scientific, political, and cultural ethics, as chronicled within. Though this pandemic happened a century ago, its lessons remain powerfully relevant today. Because flu viruses never vanished, they keep mutating constantly. Major flu outbreaks have occurred roughly every few decades since 1918. That's why former American Microbiology Society President Atlas called this essential reading when facing terrifying epidemics or bioterrorism. All right, that wraps next week's picks, but let me reiterate something important. From November 24th to December 5th, Himalaya's 123 Knowledge Carnival kicks off. Open the Himalaya app during this period. Tons of discounts and benefits await. So how can we get the most effective benefits and subsidies? Please quickly add our assistant's WeChat below to join our official Sally Talks Books community and discover all the highlights and amazing programs of this year's 123 Knowledge Carnival. Meanwhile, Sally Talks Books will launch 2 blockbuster shows during the 123 event. One show is Harvard's general education course. We've invited 100 Harvard professors to discuss 100 classic masterpieces that changed human destiny. I'm sure book lovers will absolutely adore this program. The other major show is called Celebrities Bedside Books. We've invited 100 top Chinese celebrities from various fields to share the books that personally resonate with them. I believe both shows will delight many of our listeners. All right, thank you, everyone.